Wade and Wade reacts.
We have yet again another Kakarot197 request. This video is titled 4 Reasons Why the Titans Lost to the Gryps War.
Hey everyone, Kakarot197 again. And this time we're going to have a look at 4 reasons as to why the Titans lost the Gryps War. Number 1, failure to get a good mass-produced unit in the middle stages of the war. Whereas the AUK was able to replace almost all of their aged Gym 2s with the Nemo, the Titans were using the Gym 2 and the similarly performing Hyzak until the bitter end. These units were already outdated at the beginning of the Gryps conflict, and despite one upgrade for the Hyzak in the form of the Hyzak Custom, things didn't get any better for them as the war progressed. Instead, the Titans focused more on high-performance prototypes, and unfortunately for them, that is what they stayed, with at best a handful of units produced. Some units, such as the Marosai,
I wonder why they couldn't produce any of those units.
But these would still be relatively limited in the grand scheme of things. It wouldn't be until the Barzan that the Titans finally began mass production of the next-generation machine. It was a powerful and very capable general-purpose unit, but too little, too late. Some sources claim that it only saw limited production due to its late introduction, but more recent sources suggest that the Barzan was actually produced in large quantities, despite the short time frame that they had to do so. This would mean that the Titans finally realized that they desperately needed a general-purpose unit.
That's what time wasn't on the Titans side.
However, with the Titans losing terrain on all fronts, the Barzan alone could not make a difference.
So the Titans fought against the Federation and Xeon? I'm guessing
because of the horrendous tactics used by the Titans, they would gradually lose support from the Federation. At first, both the Federation and the Titans would cover up their accidents as best as they could. Unfortunately, the truth has a bad habit of always rising to the surface. And with AUK's rising power, the Titans would resort to ever more underhanded tactics. This culminated at Dakar, where Karaba tried to peacefully take over the Federation Parliament.
I'm dressing like he was about to reveal a Superman costume.
The Titans reacted with blatant disregard for anyone inside of the Parliament and began a battle inside of the city. All of this was captured on camera by Beltorchika Irma and broadcast world and colony-wide.
That's crazy. So during his speech, the war was going on?
No longer sanctioned
they were trying to stop the AU
and decided
from telling
to
the
distance
truth.
themselves from their supposed protectors. While this was the PR reason that is often cited, it is very important to note that this was also in the aftermath of Karaba and the AUK's first major victory over the Titans at Kilimanjaro. And a few months before this, a major Titan offensive, Operation Apollo, ended in failure. This string of failures undoubtedly convinced the Federation that the AUK and Karaba had gotten more powerful than the Titans, and that sticking out their necks for the Titans would eventually result in their own downfall. Officially, the Federation was disgusted by the Titans' actions and consequently withdrew all of their support, putting a halt to Jamatov's plan of having all the Federation forces under his command. On number 3, we have disillusioned pilots, because the Federation itself wasn't the only one who was done with the Titans. While it's easy to look at their actions and proclaim them to be the villains that they eventually became, this isn't how they went about recruiting people. It is very important to remember the situation that led to their creation. Operation Stardust showed the average Federation soldier 2 things. 1, the Xeon remnants are still a threat, and 2, the Federation is unable to deal with them. Then all of a sudden, this elite organization pops up whose main selling point is that they're going to deal with those fanatics who are threatening you, your family, and the entire planet. And as an added bonus, you automatically become 2 ranks higher, including benefits, and you get a cool new uniform.
These are troubled times that we're living in.
That's one of the benefits,
that is just and noble.
This initially caused a large influx of good-natured pilots such as Emma Sheen, Ford Romefellow, Agar, the Titans testing crew, and so on. They all truly believed that they were doing the right thing and protecting the Federation and those they loved. However, they all had to eventually face the truth, no matter how good of a job the Titans censorship did. At this point, those pilots would have to make a decision. They either left or continued telling themselves that it was for the Federation, it was for the overall good, or I didn't want to do it, but orders were orders.
Now then, if this turns into a long war, it could mean the destruction of hundreds of colonies. But if the AU were forced to submit due to the loss of only one colony...
So you have the Titans, or first the Federation, Zeon, the AU, and the Titans?
Some kept telling themselves this until the bitter end, whereas others eventually couldn't stand it.
How long did these
The fact that the Titans allied
associations or organizations
in the later
last?
stages of the war, a force that they should have been fighting against, would probably be the final push that many needed. And finally, on number 4, we have the leadership.
I don't know what
Simply
happened.
Jomidov was delusional, and that is honestly the kindest way that I can put it. On paper, the Titans were created to fight for the Federation, but de facto, Jomidov wanted to use them as a way for him to get more power. Unfortunately for him,
always a crazy power-hungry politician
Titans
somewhere.
As an organization. He thought that he had a private army, but the reality couldn't be further from this.
We're a part of the Earth Federation forces. And I never agreed to be a part of Captain Bask's private force.
Other than pilots joining because they truly believed that they would be protecting the Federation, many also joined for the ideal of Earthnoid supremacy.
Oh, that's tight.
Sadly, this was something that Jomidov did not have a monopoly over. And to add to this, everyone was even further alienated by the arrogant display of not just Jomidov, but also that of his closest aides. Even high-ranking officers such as Captain Gotti openly showed disgust for them, and it is not surprising that many people joined the Titans with the only goal of eventually leading them, either through climbing the ranks or more, shall we say, Titans-esque strategies. Therefore, it should come as no surprise to anyone that there was only one person saddened by the death/assassination of Jomidov. This lack of trust would severely cripple the Titans in the final stages of the war, with captains such as Gotti acting on their own rather than cooperating with other ships. Unfortunately for the Titans, it would seem that their organization was doomed from the get-go by their leaders. If you think that there are important reasons that I didn't talk about...
This is my first time hearing about some of the other factions outside of the Federation and Zeon. I did hear of the Titans, but not the AU. And the Titans seemed like they had a pretty good team at first, and I was wondering why they couldn't mass produce certain mobile suits. But after Kakarot touched on the fact that they couldn't stay together, or the leadership couldn't keep to the same plan, they all had their own plans, I understand why now.
Yeah, the Federation cut that funding too, which messed them up. I think another thing, I don't know if he pointed this out in the video, I kind of zoned out a little bit. I think one thing too that messed them up is them trying to team up with Zeon.
Oh yeah.
That's what, I think that's what messed them up as well too. And then on top of that, you got Camille and Chara on the AU together. It's really not much you can do against them.
I guess they tried to replace the funding that the Federation pulled from them by siding with the Zeon.
And then another thing too, they also had Amaru working with them too. So it was it was just too much.
Dang, I guess they, like he said, it seemed like they were destined and doomed to fail from the beginning.
Yeah.
That does it for our reaction to this Kakarot197 video request. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Also, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll never miss a video from Wade and Wade Reacts.
I'm out of there.
Peace.